Says it. Yeah, say it right there.
It says you live, my friends.
We're live.
June the 18th at 4 o'clock in Alabama. How is it going today?
How's everybody doing today?
It's not that hot.
The wind's blowing today.
When the sun comes out and the wind stops blowing, it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite comfortable.
Yeah, if the wind stops, you're in trouble. Yeah.
Well, I had a little unexpected trip earlier today.
Yeah.
Jason had to edit,
Mhm.
so Mary Carl asked me if sometime soon we could go to the lake and see the ospreys.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we went, I believe I told you guys that we were down near the dam to a spot that Mr. Michael Key told us about, where we could get out and walk around on a little rock bar.
That's right.
So to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, Michael didn't tell us it was a birding spot.
It was full of birds in it.
It was full of birds. There were ospreys everywhere feeding. There was a heron in a tree right beside us. And there were eagles diving down. So Michael left the part out about being a birding hotspot. So I decided that I would go ahead and take her today. And we went. And y'all, when we first started going, it was cool.
Really?
It was cool because the wind was blowing off the water and the sun wasn't shining. And I told me, Carl, it was cool. And it was rough. The water was rough. I guess because the wind was blowing. But while we did see some herons, we saw an eagle with a fish.
Okay, cool.
Didn't get a good picture of it. It was too far away. Saw it get the fish and went in a tree with it. The thing that we saw that was the craziest, y'all might not understand this, but if you live with a birder, you would understand that when you see a bird in breeding plumage, and this is not its breeding ground, it's a big deal.
That's right.
So guess what we saw?
Tell them.
A loon.
I'm going to bring this a little closer. Okay.
A loon in breeding plumage.
A loon.
And they don't breed in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They should be long gone from here. Matter of fact, May they should have been gone.
Really?
May they should have been gone. And they don't come back until like September or October. So we saw one lone loon. And I cannot explain to y'all how close we got to it. It was not scared of us at all. So, of course, I'm not going to do anything to, like scare it.
Right.
But I cut the boat off and I was just floating. Mary Carl's taking pictures, floating. We got really close. So close that I thought it was going to get in the boat with us. And so it drifted and she decided she wanted to go to the rock bar that Michael told us about and dock and see if we couldn't wait for some ospreys to come. So we did that, and lo and behold, here comes the loon. It came over where we were.
It followed y'all.
It followed us. And so there was nobody on the lake whatsoever. No fishermen. I guess it was too windy.
Yeah, it's pretty windy.
So Mary Carl starts walking out in the water with her camera because he was coming in closer.
Mm-hmm.
And she spooked him.
Oh, really? Think.
The boat did not scare him at all. He got real close to the boat. Now, I say she spooked him. She's got in her mind it was time to fly.
Oh, okay.
But first of all, she thought that he may have been injured. He could have flown. That may be why he was here and not supposed to be. And when she got in that water and got semi close to him, he took off, and we knew then he could fly. All was well. All was well. But it was a weird sighting that she was very happy with the pictures. I don't have any of them. She just took pictures through her phone of her camera.
Yeah.
But I did take a short video of it, just kind of swimming around near us. Just an interesting happening.
Yeah, the only ones I've ever seen here, they're solid, almost solid black.
Yeah, because they're not in breeding plumage. Yep. Breeding plumage is when they're at their most beautiful. They're trying to impress their mate. They're trying to look all pretty, and it did just that.
Like Scott.
It was beautiful. Beautiful. Black and white polka dotted with that red eye. Now, there are places that they spend, Maine, for instance.
Yeah.
it's not an oddity to see a bunch of loons in Maine right now. But that's where they breed. That's where they have babies.
Interesting.
But not here. Not
They're
Alabama.
a pretty bird.
They are a really pretty bird.
They,
And during the winter months, we did see quite a few, but they weren't in this beautiful plumage.
It's always funny because, you watch a movie or show with Mary Carl, who's a birder, and there's always two birds that they use in movies all the time and use them incorrectly. And that is loons and red-tailed hawks.
Yep. They make red-tailed hawks sound like eagles.
Yeah, any falcon, eagle, anything is a red-tailed hawk sound. And then if it's nighttime and they're trying to make it spooky and eerie, you're going to hear a loon.
That's true.
And Mary Carl says loons don't do that at night.
No. But it never occurred to me, and I never would have thought twice about it had she not, informed us of that.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have bothered me. It doesn't bother me still, but it's just incorrect. Incorrect. How about that? Y'all know what we did this weekend? We went and watched a movie. Did you forget about that?
I did forget about our movie. So this is how it happened. It's been just unbearable hot here.
And we have had nonstop work without a sit-down day, and I couldn't tell you when.
And here's the thing. It's been unbearable hot. We've been working outside. And as soon as we get, done out there, the wind starts blowing and it's cooler now.
Yeah. I mean, like today, we could have worked all day and not complained about it.
Unreal. But it's been 100 here for weeks now.
Yeah.
And
it was that way on Saturday.
It was that way on Saturday. It was just terrible. We did everything we needed to do.
We worked.
Yeah, we worked up till lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And Mary Carl, she's a teenager. She was bored. I want to do something.
What can we do?
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to the lake because.
Well, here's the thing. Well, we learned was the poker runs that Saturday?
Yeah, I think so.
Had to be.
Yeah.
So they had this thing they call a poker run, and it's kind of like it's not really a boat race, but anyways, I don't know.
It's a game.
It's a game, and I know how it works with motorcycles, but this is the first time I've ever heard it with boat. But according to Michael Key, they do it all the time. So they have little points that you go to in your boat, and you get a card, and then you go to the next one, you get another card, and you're actually playing poker. So whatever boat has the best hand wins. So that's what a poker run is, and so Mary Carl wanted to go to the lake, but then we heard there's like 200 or 300 boats there.
Yeah, they said on average 200 boats would be participating. And I'm going to tell y'all something. There's just something about being on the water with that many boats that I don't feel comfortable
And it makes you nervous.
It makes me nervous. Now, some people might enjoy it. Some people might can relax and have fun. But I don't want to be on the water driving the boat with that many people.
I agree.
I just don't.
I agree. And plus, some of them probably ain't going to act right. And there's going to be a percentage.
Yeah, not saying y'all would be any of those. But somebody out there might not act right.
They're not going to act right. But
and I don't want to be in the middle of it.
No, we don't want to be in the middle of that. So I was like, well, how about let's go to the movies? And she was like, sure, let's go to the movies. So we looked at the movies and I kind of opened my mouth up before I looked because there's usually something there that we want to see.
Yeah.
And I think there was one movie, I can't remember what it was, but it was like late.
Yeah.
On one, and so there was one that was on at 3 times, and one of them was the right time. It would have been perfect.
It was 4:15.
Yeah.
Is what time it was. And you said we worked till lunch, but it was after lunch because we just got cleaned up.
Oh, yeah.
And we're able to make it by
That's right.
4:15. So we watched the previews to it. And lo and behold, after watching the previews, I said, this is something I want to see.
I want to watch it. And
I want to watch it.
The movie was called The Watchers, was the name of the movie.
It looked good.
It did look good. And it wasn't like an hour and 30 minutes long, so it wasn't a super long movie.
And it was PG-13 because there weren't many things on that were, feasible for a child under 14
That's
to
right.
watch.
And so me and Mary Carl were excited that Brooke decided that she wanted to go with us.
Yeah,
And
I said
so
it's too hot to be hopping from store to store,
it's hot.
and I really don't have anything I
Yep.
need, so I'm going to the movies.
So we went to the movies on Saturday.
Let me tell y'all this first. So we did not buy our tickets before we got there. We usually do, but we didn't. And we got stuck in a lot of traffic because interstate on Saturday, if you're on 65
It's
near
crazy.
Clanton, Calera, Alabaster area, it
It's
is
crazy.
packed.
Yep.
So we get there and Jason's buying the tickets outside at the window, and we were there right on time because we got caught in so much traffic.
Yep.
I said, "Do you want me to go get the popcorn?" If y'all know me, you know I'm the popcorn girl, okay? So I was gonna do what y'all told me to do. I was gonna take my purse in with a bottle of water because the last time I told y'all they charged me $7 for a cup of water, but I didn't do it. I didn't break the law. I just decided that I would have a sip of Mary Carl's drink or Jason's. And so Jason said he wanted Sprite. Mary Carl wanted a Coca-Cola. So I did just that. I got what used to be the number one, a large popcorn and 2 drinks.
2 drinks, yep.
Y'all, Jason comes in. He says, "You didn't get you anything?"
I did.
And I said, "No, because I didn't need all that buttery popcorn. I just didn't need it. I was trying to stay away from it." We sat down on those relaxing chairs. I can hear them over there. I'm thinking the whole time, if they eat that whole thing, I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to be so upset. So they kept on and kept on. And every now and then I'd look over, I could see how much they had left. I could see the bag getting lower and lower. And they didn't eat it all. They had some left in the bottom.
It was a good bit left.
Well, the bag was big, but it was about this much.
Yeah, it was a good bit left.
And
you said you didn't want it.
I did. I told y'all I didn't want any.
Yeah.
And I didn't need it.
Yeah.
But I was so glad y'all didn't eat it all. I was so glad y'all didn't eat it all. So now on to the movie.
So the movie starts and goes on, and me and Mary Carl, we pretty much, I don't think we've seen a bad movie to us. You know, we just enjoy them no matter what. But there are some that are not that good.
Not compared to some of the better ones.
Not compared to other ones. This movie was not very good. I mean, it really wasn't. It really wasn't.
I'm going to tell y'all something.
It was not very good.
If I had been at home, I would have cut the TV off. But I was at the movies, and I was with my family. And so the entire movie, I looked at my watch, and I thought 90 minutes is a long time to sit through this movie. But if there's a Watchers 2, I will not watch it.
We'll not.
I'm sorry if you were an actor or an actress in that movie. It just wasn't for me.
And so I told some people, I think there was a movie prior called The Watchers, but this one isn't it. This is a brand new one that's pretty new. And it's listen, if you're bored and ain't got nothing to do.
It beat 100 degrees, I tell you that.
It did. Now, was it worth the money we spent going to the movies to see? No.
It was not worth it.
Not worth it at all.
If we had to do it over again, we would have made a different decision.
Yeah.
We would have probably went and people watched or something. I mean,
well, I will say this. We usually go to the movies during the week. And every time we go, I cannot tell you guys how many times me and Mary Carl have gone to the movies during the week. And me and Mary Carl are the only people in the movie theater. And this is a nice movie theater.
Yes, it is.
But I don't think we've ever gone on a Saturday. And I often wonder, and I'm like, these people are not going to stay in business that long. This is, and I hate it because we like this movie theater. Uh-oh. Bless you.
Talking, don't stop.
But I see where they make their money is definitely on a Saturday because y'all. So the movie Bad Boys, I don't know what number it is, but with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, it evidently came out.
Yeah, because that parking lot was full.
It was full, and there was a line, and that movie came on every single hour.
It did. It did.
And
And we were trying to stay away from the crowds by
Yeah.
watching something that wasn't.
Yeah, there wasn't that many people. I think there was probably 9 or 10 people in the movie theater with us. Wasn't
Well,
very many at
I
all.
wonder if everybody felt like they wouldn't watch.
Nobody
number
got up
2.
and left. Nobody got up and
I
left.
thought somebody did. They left, but they came back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But anyways, we had fun as a family.
We did. We had fun as a family, but I'm not watching it on television when it comes out. I'll tell you that.
I will. Talking about bringing stuff in, I remember being young. I don't know if I was teenage years or pre-teenage years, but back then, our parents would just drop us off at the movie theater. And we had a movie theater in Selma, at the time. And I can't remember who it was with me. And I think we watched one of the Ghostbusters. And parents dropped us off. But before our parents dropped us off, we stopped at, at a gas station. And we loaded up on stuff. And we had it all in our pockets and in our pants. And surely those people knew that we were loaded down with candy and stuff.
They probably did. Because I don't ever remember eating anything when I went to the movies.
Oh, I do. I say that.
But I told you, when I went, I was with a boy. I wasn't.
Yeah, this was me and a buddy, so it wasn't a boyfriend girlfriend
See,
thing.
mine
This was
always
pre
that
that.
way.
This was
Oh.
pre-courting days.
Well, I might have started a little earlier than you.
But I can just, in our eyes, we looked like, you couldn't tell it.
Oh no!
But I guarantee when we were walking, you could hear bags of Skittles and just we probably looked like, we were walking like this, I can't, but to us, we were pulling one over on them. I guarantee you they knew that what we were doing. I bet so.
Probably so. So then we left, and I ran in Panera Bread, which is a restaurant almost across the street.
Yep.
And so I go in, and I'm getting Mary Carl something, and I order, and I go stand down at the pickup because they don't have a drive-through at this particular location. And they asked me my name, and I said Brooke, and so they said pick up for Brooke. And about that time, I picked it up, and I made eye contact with this lady, and I smiled at her, and I turned around, and I heard an echo. It was Brooke. And I turned around again, and that lady was looking at me, and her name was Miss Joyce. And Miss Joyce was in that restaurant, and she was a follower of ours. And she said, I heard them say Brooke, and then I saw the back of your hair, and I knew it was you. And I said, well, thank you for speaking, do you live here? And she was like, no, I live over such and such. And I said, well, we just left the movies. And she said, that was ding, ding, ding. When I said, we, it's Jason and Mary Carl with you? And I said, yes, because they were in the car waiting on me. And so Miss Joyce came out to the car and introduced herself to Jason and Mary Carl, and it made for the movie experience to be all better.
It did. She was
very nice lady.
Very nice lady, and so nice to meet her.
It's always so odd to hear, because these people tend to know everything about you, but you don't know anything about him. She knew where I lived, so there was no point in her asking me that. But I didn't know where she lived, nor did I know her name. So
let me tell you what I always do, and I catch myself doing it, and it's one of those things, y'all know, where you embarrass yourself and you say something that you just messed up. Yeah, like you accidentally call if you say
she, a man.
Yeah, I've made that mistake.
Well, I've made it too, but not meaning that they look like a she. Or
no, it just came out.
Yeah,
and or you have we're doing a meet and greet. And this happens every time in a meet and greet, and I catch myself before I do it, and I have actually done it like a dummy. And somebody comes up to you and they say, "Hey, I'm Greg," and I go, "Hey, I'm Jason." They already know who I am.
Yep, that's exactly what I mean.
Why do I have to tell them my name? They already know who I am, but it it just comes out. It's just habits, you.
Yeah, Miss Joyce, she knew all about me, but I knew nothing about her. I
Yeah.
knew nothing about where she lived or if she was just passing through. You know,
Right.
it was odd on my end because I felt like I I needed to share something.
Woo.
Very
But
nice.
I bet I do that at every single one. I do that.
Well-
Everyone. I'm Jason.
Yeah, well, we all make mistakes, and
Of
it
course. I'm
just
Jason.
means we're human.
After I do it that one time, though, I know not to do it again.
Well, it's in your head. It's
Yeah.
going in your wheels turning. Don't
Yeah.
say Jason. Don't say Jason.
like hooking up the full force water pressure to the drip irrigation in your garden.
And
I
you
won't make
kept
that
hearing
mistake.
the pow. Jason came
Oh.
home telling me about his experience.
I
He
knew.
said, Brooke, I kept hearing the pop, pop, and I thought somebody was shooting a gun off in a distance.
I thought it was a rotten egg.
Oh.
100%. I thought it was a rotten egg.
It was
No
no
doubt.
rotten egg.
It was no rotten egg. After I heard that first one, I thought it was a rotten egg. The second one, I was like, we got a mess of duck eggs over here, and it is 102 degrees outside, and they are going off like the 4th of July. But then when I heard pop, 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 I was like, that's not rotten eggs. And then I could hear the water running.
And it was your drip irrigation
Yes,
had
and
exploded.
That blew it out.
Well, you saying that about duck eggs and goose eggs exploding made
Yeah.
me think of something that I meant to talk about last week, and I forgot.
Uh-oh.
So a lot of you guys want to know, why don't we put duck eggs or goose eggs out on the stand?
Oh.
Well, our chickens are in their free range.
Yep.
But they don't free range this 40 acres. Those ducks and geese are not in a enclosure.
Right.
So where they lay, it could have been there for 2 years, or it could have been there for 2 hours.
Right.
And I am not about to take that chance by
No.
putting that egg on that stand, because you know what would happen?
Oh, it would be bad.
Pow would happen.
It would be bad.
So no goose eggs or duck eggs at the egg stand for that reason.
Yeah, that would be bad.
We never know where they are. It's like an Easter egg hunt.
It is.
They don't lay in any certain area. They just they go and come as they please.
Yeah, they're not like chickens at all when it comes to laying eggs. They just lay wherever they want to.
Wherever
pretty
they
much.
want to.
Chickens are gonna go to the same spot every single time.
Now- Go ahead.
And chickens want to lay in a nesting box.
That's right.
Too, yeah.
But at our old farm, when we put our ducks in the coop at night and the chickens in the coop at night, they did have areas where they laid, and we knew where that area was.
Yeah.
So we knew if there was an egg there, earlier that day or not, and we would collect them. But now it's totally different.
Yeah, it's big.
We can't take that chance. We can't. We would
I missed who said it, but somebody said something that I say all the time too. Like, you just got through with a great meal, and the server comes over there, and you go to pay them, and they say thank you, and you say thank you too. I do that sometimes too.
Yeah.
Say thank you too.
Yeah, I say thank you where there's no thank you needed.
Right.
Sometimes, and boy, you feel really
awkward.
But you know what?
Oh,
That
goodness.
person you're saying that to, that you made that mistake to, does the same thing.
Well, they probably hear it 100 times a day too.
So, no worries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what, Jason?
What?
We had 2 fun days.
Yeah, I know it. I was gonna say, we not only did we go to the movies, which was unplanned. We
did something that was planned.
We had planned was the Shakespeare Festival, which was on Sunday.
That's
On
right.
Father's Day, and that was really, really fun. It was Zelda in the Backyard was the name of it, and it was a great play. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, it was an hour and a half long with no intermission, and it was one lady,
y'all. Did
and
everything.
she never left the stage. And how she learned those lines is mind-blowing. An hour and a half long without missing a beat. That is mind blowing.
And making it enjoyable to
Yeah.
where when you left, you didn't feel like it was one person.
Right.
You felt like that one person had played all these different parts, and she hadn't.
Yeah. She was a great storyteller.
It was really
Mhm.
entertaining, to say the least.
Yeah.
Now I did notice that I looked around in the audience, and first of all, I realized that everybody there was twice our age.
Yeah.
This play was more of an elder audience, because I think that they are the type of people that enjoy,
Plays.
well, not necessarily plays, but entertainment that doesn't involve a lot of different. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's to me, plays are they're just kind of old fashioned.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem to me
Like a
that
Broadway show
people
or
our age are entertained by such a thing as plays anymore.
yeah, I agree. I
And
would think so.
here's the kicker.
I mean, there's always exceptions.
There's
to the rule.
exceptions, but
As a whole,
this is an exception.
Yeah.
So here's Mary Carl. She's 14.
She loves it.
And there's not another child her age nearly close to her. The youngest person I saw was probably 40 besides us.
Yeah.
And she thoroughly enjoyed it.
She loved it.
So, it's my hope that maybe that era will not disappear.
Mm-hmm.
The times of plays being entertainment, it just seems like it's disappearing. And I hope I'm wrong. But the audience is just not a young group, is what I'm getting at.
Right. I would say like an opera. I would say that people, one time opera and opera houses were, big.
Yeah.
Really big.
So I hope that doesn't mean things like that are going extinct,
Hope
because
not.
I enjoy it.
We would need to take her to a Broadway play. Take her. That would be
Oh my
amazing.
goodness. Can you imagine Cog Hill in New York? We are going to need Lester to go with us to show us the way.
Oh man.
Oh yes.
But I am grateful that we do have the Shakespeare Festival, and they have plays all year long, or theater. May not be technically a play, but it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
Well, we will go. We plan to go see the next one, Joseph's Coat of Many Colors.
Yeah, but it's called Technicolor or something. It's got a
Twitch.
And it's a
July.
musical.
It's a musical.
Yep.
It's in July.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's something we'll continue to do.
I do, because I think, Midsummer's Night Dream and then the Christmas Carol and
all those
all
sound
kinds.
entertaining.
It was.
But I just wonder if we could take our friends with us and them sit there and be entertained like we were.
I think so.
I hope so.
I think so.
I hope so. I really do, because I just those people, they work so hard, and it's thoroughly entertaining to me anyway.
I agree.
So there we go. We had a whole weekend of fun.
It was. Had a lot of fun.
And I must say, from watching that movie on Saturday to watching that play on Sunday, I have a winner. The play definitely came out on top.
Oh, man.
Yep, sure did.
Ginger said it's kind of like sending someone a postcard.
That's right. Or a letter.
Yep.
Even a handwritten letter these days, it's just unheard of.
It is.
Now, we get a lot of nice letters from our followers, but it just seems these days it's easier for people to send an email.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, is I hope it doesn't, just diminish to where nobody's interested. But I would like to see a Broadway play one day.
Yeah, I would like to too.
I just don't know how we're going to get there and navigate the city and all that stuff.
That's funny. Somebody asked if I scared you anymore.
No.
I'm going to be honest, that was not intentional at all. I just knew that you knew the fence was off. I was just kind of doing it for the video, to be funny for the video. I had no.
It was one of those things that your heart doesn't stop beating for a long time. One of those kind of scares.
Yeah.
I mean, there's scares where your heart just skips a couple of times.
Yeah.
But this was a scare that didn't go away immediately. I mean, like I was I was still trying to gather myself 30 minutes later. It just scared me.
Oh goodness.
Scared me.
Yeah.
Because here I was, I just walked away from that charger that says 18 miles.
And I told you to keep bison in.
You keep icing in, and then Jason touches it accidentally.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Oh, I haven't touched it though.
I'm glad you haven't. Neither has anybody else since it's been on.
But I'm thinking if I don't come up with and I got an idea that I may, but if I don't come up with some type of bracelet,
You're gonna forget.
I'm going to hit it. I'm going to touch it.
Well,
And the thing is that one don't unplug. It's solar. So the other one's not solar. This one's solar, so you don't unplug it. You just hit the button and hit the button.
you got to
On,
show me how to
off.
do that because I mean we have it on, and
On, off.
the goats and Jesse and them they can't reach it anyway. So
No.
yeah,
So
you got to show me how
I got to figure out.
how to remind
I'm
yourself.
thinking if I can just maybe put a hook on that T-post and just hang the. Because there's anywhere you set it on it, the wind's gonna blow it off. The bracelet. But I think I'm gonna put me a hook on the side of that T-post.
Speaking of
Hang
wind, I forgot to say something.
The wind blowing?
Yeah, it made me think about it. A lot of you guys were thinking that the egg sign idea would have been better had it been on a string.
Uh-huh.
And initially we thought about putting it on a string. We
Yeah.
thought about putting it on a string, and that way it'd be easy for people to flip and flip. But you know what? This man right here, he decided that the wind blows too hard.
It would have
here.
been rough today.
And it does, y'all. It would have been doing just like this. It would have flip-flopped around.
Mhm.
There's no way it would have stayed. And people would have pulled up, and eggs would have been in stock, and they really weren't in stock, or vice versa. So we did this
Yeah.
because Jason thought it would be the best thing, and it has worked out well.
It has worked out well.
There's not been anybody that has not turned the sign over. Everybody's done as they should.
It's worked perfectly.
It's worked perfectly.
I saw someone say that once I touched it one time that I wouldn't touch it again. That's not the case. That's not the case.
You don't think?
No, because I touched Moody's and Joe's and Moe's
All the time?
Well, not all the time. What happens
I've
is
never touched it.
you did one time, didn't you? Didn't you one time?
I don't think so. I did touch something one time. It had to have been that one because that's all we have.
When you do touch that one, now I don't know about this one, but that one's a plug-in one, so it's pretty up there, and it needs to be because of Moody.
Right.
Moody's a big fella, and we do not want him
leaning over the fence.
We don't want him to get hurt, so we don't want him to get out. So
and besides that, look at what happened before you put that electric wire up there. Where he leaned over the fence, the fence is like 4 foot tall, and it is a 4 foot fence.
Well, then you just got where he just step over the fence.
Right.
So we had to do something. And so it's for his safety. But if you do touch that fence, you have zero control as to what comes out of your mouth. Zero.
So that's how we should have known that you didn't actually touch the fence.
And I'm not saying, yeah, that's right. And I'm not saying that you're going to say ugly words. You may or may not. But I've noticed when I touch it, it's just,
gibberish? Just gibberish.
Absolutely.
Makes no sense.
Zero sense whatsoever. Sounds like a caveman touched it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
And
Jason.
they just
y'all just wait till he touches
sounds come out. That's it.
Just wait till he touches this new one.
I gotta get that bracelet on there. I gotta get the bracelet on there.
Yep, he's gonna lean over. He's gonna go to feed one day, and he's gonna touch it right here. And that's a sensitive part already.
That's it.
Gibberish.
Oh man.
All kind of gibberish is gonna come out.
For a split second, you just lose control.
Jeez, Jason. That's interesting.
Oh, so yeah, I definitely got to get me some kind of hook up there. Got to get me something up there.
Well, you know that I had kind of stopped feeding Moody and the boys altogether. So, I have a feeling that this is going to be you doing the feeding.
Yeah.
Over there. So I'm not going. There's no way I'm going to touch it.
You don't have to worry about it.
No way odd words are going to come out of my mouth.
Won't nothing come out your mouth.
He better get this fixed. He better get it fixed.
Oh, me.
It's going to be interesting.
Oh, goodness. Have I seen some people asking, has the egg hatched?
No, the
Hasn't
egg
hatched yet.
The egg has not hatched. Thursday, if I'm correct, should be day 28.
Okay.
And the literature says that they should hatch between, and we're talking about the Victoria Crown pigeon egg. Literature says 28 to 30 days. So, in my case with geese, it takes 30 days every time. I mean, like those last geese that hatched.
Yeah.
I swear she sat longer than Nugget did. And that was 44 days.
That's true.
But there's no way she sat 44 days.
That's right.
But it just seems like, you like I got a handle on that time.
Right.
I think it's the 20th is going to be 28 days, but it may not be.
It could be.
She may not have even had an egg then.
After.
I don't know. Time will tell. So, no baby. That we know of.
Crystal Nobody has got a brilliant idea.
What's that?
About the bracelet.
What?
For me to take one of those T-post insulators and just pop it on there and hang the bracelet on.
Oh.
Case closed.
Good idea.
And I got one of them long ones.
So you're good to go.
Got good to go.
How about that?
You want to do that this afternoon? I'm not saying anything. Anything crazy. Anything. Talking about T-post, y'all, I got to tell y'all, that post driver is probably the best tool on the farm.
And, it was quite a headache to rent that thing before.
You know what it reminds me of? I don't mean to stop you, but you know what it reminds me of?
What?
Before when we didn't have a tractor, and then we started looking at tractors, and we got the little bitty one, the little O.
Yeah.
And we're looking at tractors, and we're like, should we get the front bucket or should we not get the front bucket? And we're like, we're probably just, you think of the bucket, you think, well, we can move some rocks here and there. It'll probably something we'll use every now and then. And we decided to go ahead and get the front bucket.
You talking about when we bought the first tractor?
The first tractor.
Y'all, let me tell you something. We lived on a driveway that went like this.
Yeah.
And we were using a wheelbarrow to repair, when hurricane came, washout came.
But the thing with the bucket is that we were on the fence about getting it.
We were, because it was an extra amount of money.
And in your mind, you're thinking that you're only going to use it when you have a heavy rain.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Next thing you know, we're using that bucket every day.
Yep.
We're cutting trees with it. We're hanging bird feeders with it. We're moving feed barrels or feed bags.
Yep. And we don't know how we lived without it.
That's how I am with my T-post driver.
With the ground the way it is here.
Yeah.
I mean, you would literally be out of work from May to October because there's no way you could drive anything in the ground.
Yeah.
Now, I hadn't had any phone calls yet from Nick over at Chestnut Hills or Catherine at G&G or even Brent at Rural South Construction.
That's right.
Saying they want to borrow this thing.
Yep.
But when they do, they are going to realize how big of a game changer it actually is.
It is.
I haven't personally used it. It's 35 pounds and I can't particularly see myself.
Right.
And I don't have to. I got a big strapping strong man here that can do it for me. So there's a.
Oh, me. I'm telling you, it is. I think I've used it almost every day.
Well, it just seems like every time we turn around, there's something new that needs to be put in the ground.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have done it otherwise.
Oh, heck no. Especially right now, y'all. We've gotten 0.3 of an inch of rain this month. On top of how dry it's been prior. And it is. So I normally typically water my garden once a week. I'm up to 2 times a week, and I may have to go to 3 times a week. It is terrible here.
But
right now.
here's the thing: is it'll be all over the radar,
Oh
and
yeah,
it misses us.
we got our bubble.
We got our bubble.
We got our bubble. I know I've told you guys about the bubble. That those don't know about the bubble. We had a lady when we first moved here that was worried about
Bad weather.
bad weather, and she said she prayed and put a bubble around our area, and so we got a bubble here, and any bad weather comes through, it looks like, and so there's some days that I wish she would pull the bubble back.
Yep. Just the other day, Miss Catherine at G&G, she sent me a message with a picture of the radar. It was so promising. We were on the way home from the Shakespeare Festival.
Yep.
On the way home from the Shakespeare Festival, looked at the radar. I said, it is raining at our house. There's no way around it. We get home, not a drop.
Oh man.
Not a drop of rain. So,
Oh,
you know, it is what it is. But without the T-Post driver, we wouldn't be getting much done.
yeah, I know it.
We would not be getting much done.
I tell you, I'm really gonna. I don't know if I say that, but I would love to get me the well water right up into the garden area, just right there.
I think we can do it.
I don't have to go dig a 100-foot ditch. I just want to get it.
Yeah, I think we can do that. Just imagine the minerals
Oh yeah, it'd be way better.
and the benefit
Oh, it'd be way better.
for the plants versus county water.
Yeah, it'd be way better. Way better.
And then, we eventually want to put water all the way down to the pond because months like this, when we don't have rain, we're going to have to supplemental water it to keep it filled.
It's true.
I mean, we don't have to.
Right.
But there's a chance it could go dry if it was months like this.
Yeah, because the pond across right yonder,
The
right
neighbor's
across the
pond,
street, which has been pretty daggum good.
you- you can see it going down.
Right there,
Just
starting to go down.
it is. So, that's the reason we had the well put in was to fill the pond, and it's doing very well.
Yeah, the pond's doing great.
It's doing very well. The geese say so too because they spend 95% of their time down at the pond.
They do.
And Goldie, I'm not going to say Nugget because he doesn't use it as much as Goldie does.
Which is odd to me because he used to get in the pool so much.
But, when you're squirting them off with a water hose, Nugget will be first in line, whereas Goldie's a little bit standoffish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just weird to
Who
me
knows?
how that works.
Yep. That is. I tell you though, if we're going to get it over, we're going to rent a good.
We're going to rent a drivable one because otherwise it's going to bounce right up and down on the top of the dirt.
The last time we were told that get the big walk behind. It's big, it's commercial, it will go through the soil. Trust me, no problems. You don't need the drivable one. And I caught the devil with that.
And we didn't go very far.
No, and it was a big one.
It
a big walk behind. It's sitting no little bitty thing. It's sitting like my little tiller. This thing was big.
Y'all, when we built our house and we rented the drive behind, I was so excited to get on that trencher. I was going to dig the hole, and I did just that. I lowered that thing as low as it would go, and I dug that trench. Jason's daddy came over here to run the electrical, and he looked in there, and he said, "Good gracious, girl, where in the world are you digging to?" I think the ditch in some places is 4 foot deep.
Oh,
I'm not exaggerating.
yeah, you went pretty deep.
I went pretty deep, but I didn't know I wasn't supposed to go deep.
And I know there's some areas that need to go that deep, but here our code is like
7 inches.
something crazy.
7 inches?
For water, I think. I think electrical is a little deeper. But our frost line is like, I think our frost line is actually 6 inches, but you can go, I think they want you to go 7, I think.
Well, I went 60, so we got it covered. There is no chance of any problems occurring here until we have a leak, and then we'll never know it because there's no way the water's going to rise that high up.
That would be something if it did.
Oh, y'all, he got so tickled. He was like, "Where?"
And then Mr. Greg did too.
Yeah, why are you digging so deep?
Why are you digging so deep?
Where are you going?
That was the first thing Mr. Greg said was, if you do have a leak in your pipe, It's gonna be hard to find.
That's right. You're gonna dig up the whole thing, and
Yeah.
it's gonna take a track hoe to get to it.
But to call him.
Yep, that's right. Well, he shouldn't
Shoo.
he shouldn't have fussed about it. He should have just looked at it like more work for him.
That's right.
I would like to get the water to the fruit orchard too.
Yes.
We might better rent this machine for a week.
Yeah, might have to. I definitely the garden for sure.
The garden and the thing is, Jason. Well, I guess we just put it out there somewhere. I was thinking we got plots everywhere, but we can run a hose to
Like I'm doing now.
different
Yeah.
plots.
We could actually get it to that and tap into that. You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
already there.
But then how do you? We have to talk about this another time. I can't figure it out on the live.
Oh goodness.
We would have to cap that off and then.
Have to cap it off.
Yeah.
Most definitely cap it off. But anyways, that was just
That's
Go
how
see.
we operate. We have to plan it out.
Oh, I do want to mention that Ryan the roaster
Is he at it again?
and Kennedy the candle maker.
Mm-hmm.
But Ryan has been doing some research on the melts.
Okay.
The little melts, and he is going to start tinkering around. I guess that may not be the correct term, but he is going
You better
to
get it right,
I
boy.
know. He's going to start experimenting with the melts and see if he can get that going. I don't know how long that takes. It took us, October, November, December, January, February, March.
Yeah, but part of that he didn't have the plug.
That's true, but it
220
did.
outlet.
But it did take several months for him
Well,
to
it
get
took
the
a lot of
candles.
planning
Yeah, it did.
and tinkering.
Yep.
I don't know if that's the right word, but
Tinkering, experimenting
yeah.
to get the candles down, and so the melts may be that same way. So I don't know how long that's going to be, but he is started doing his research on the melts because we had a lot of people say that they like melts,
Well,
and melts are just wax melts, and you have is it called a melter?
a warmer. A wormer. You have your wormer and you have your worm melt.
Worm. Oh.
And after you melt it, you get to go fishing because it makes worms. So this is going to be fun.
Oh, but you have your warmer, and you put your little melt in there, and it melts, and the scents come up, and you don't burn. It's not.
Yeah, you don't have a flame. You don't have
Yeah.
an open flame. And a lot of people
Yeah,
don't like to burn candles simply for the fire
I
hazard.
couldn't see who it was, but someone said they're not allowed to burn candles in their apartment, which makes sense.
I saw some people saying due to their sprinkler system
Ooh.
where they live, they could not burn candles.
I could see that.
'Cause, you'd probably get wet
I bet
pretty
they
quick
have.
if
I bet they have some wormers.
probably
Some-
probably have a wormer instead. So when he does make these melts, they're gonna have a worm on it. And it's gonna say Cog Hill Wormer. It's gonna make everything better.
Oh goodness.
The Cog Hill Wormer.
Oh.
Yes. Jason, why can't I see the comments on the live when I go back and read the comments?
These comments?
Yes, they're gone. I can only see after it's not live anymore.
Our Brown Farmhouse told us how to do it. Showed us how to do it.
On
And-
Facebook?
Now the ones on Facebook are the comments under it.
Well, no, because there's people that comment here that I can never see it when I go back and read comments.
I'll have to show you.
Okay.
I have to show you.
See, it's a teaching session. And I won't remember it, but he can show me.
Oh me.
So
Yes.
we'll see if I can figure it out.
Somebody want to know if candles or melts are available now. Candles are.
Candles are available now.
We have candles, and we have a peach candle, and it's got a little hint of ginger to it. And where can you check that out, Brooke?
www.coghillfarm.com.
there's a lot of things on there that you may like and enjoy. We need to refreshing it too. I've been thinking
The
about
website?
that. Yeah, I need to get with Jacqueline. We've had so much going on, and she's been busy, and we've been keeping her busy too.
Well, it's like one of those 110-degree days.
Yeah,
When Jacqueline doesn't want to go outside and work, and we don't want to go outside and work, we can all work together inside.
that's true.
Just like going to see the Watchers. This will be more enjoyable.
Oh goodness!
We can all sit down and come up with some refreshing.
Let's come up with some refreshing.
Yeah. We need some new pictures. We need
some new pictures. We
all
need to
kinds.
refreshing it.
Yeah, but it's too hot to go outside and take pictures right now. So
It is.
we'll just have portraits sitting on the
We could be inside.
yes, portrait. A portrait of Brooke and a portrait of
Make it like an oil painting.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Dee Dee, what do you think about that, girl?
So what's for supper tonight?
Supper.
Yep.
Well, I said last Tuesday
Mhm.
that what did we end up eating last? We had tacos
Hey,
last
Taco
Tuesday.
Tuesday, girl.
I said that I had thought about having breakfast that
Yeah.
night, and we didn't have it. But tonight,
Yep.
there's no way around it. We're having breakfast
We're
because I
having
don't have
breakfast.
anything else planned but breakfast. So we're going to have those good old grits.
Mm,
If y'all don't know what grits are, it's goodness.
that's so good.
It's some ground corn.
I'm making eat grits every day.
Grits are good.
I love them.
Grits are good. I went a
Mhm.
very long time in my childhood where I never ate grits. We never
Really?
had grits when I was growing up. I don't know why.
We had them from time to time.
I lived in Alabama then too.
Yeah.
But I just didn't ever have
We had them.
grits.
Yeah, we had them from time to time. We didn't have them like every.
Now, I will tell you what I did have, and I bet this is why. My mama made cream of wheat.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't have. I don't think I had cream of wheat till I got married to you.
Well, that's probably why,
Yeah.
because I'm used to having cream of wheat.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm a grit girl. I
Yep.
mean, we have cream of wheat in the pantry, but I'm a grit girl, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. To make them extra good, you take that Velveeta blocked cheese and you cut it up in little cubes and you add it to your grits. Oh my gracious!
It's good, isn't it?
Yes, it's too good. It is too good. Some people may not even know what grits are.
Well, we discussed it several times.
Oh, did we?
By now, I'm sure they know by now.
Well, this might
Just
not be
ground
the
corn.
same people.
Ground corn.
Ground corn.
Ground corn. Very similar to polenta.
See,
I forget what the difference is. There's a difference between the two, but they're similar. It's the ground. I think grits are not way coarser, but more coarse than polenta, I believe.
Did we have polenta in the Dominican Republic?
Girl, I can't remember that.
I think that's where I've had it. Jason won a trip when he worked for the car dealership,
Mhm.
and it was through General Motors.
Mhm.
He and I went to the Dominican Republic. If y'all can imagine us overseas, it was it was a wonderful trip.
It was.
It was a wonderful trip, and they had the best food at this resort, and it was a lot of things that I'd never had before, and I do believe polenta was one of
I may
them.
have.
The thing I remember most about that trip was going out snorkeling.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I could do it. I knew I got seasick, but I'd never been on like a fishing boat before.
Mhm.
But I had went on my senior cruise and I stayed sick the entire time. But this was different. This was snorkeling, and we were going out to where you could still see the land. So I thought I would be okay. And lo and behold, I was not okay.
Yeah, you got sick.
I took bananas with us
Yep.
off the bar because they had like a lunch buffet.
Mhm.
And at the end of the lunch, they closed the buffet up, and they had some bananas, and they told me to take them with me if I was going snorkeling because I could feed the fish. And I'm going to leave it at this. I didn't need the bananas. They liked my lunch better.
Oh, I saw several people say the difference between grits and polenta is that polenta is about $10 to $17 more.
Oh,
It's just like fancy grits.
okay. So
Yep.
we'll stick with
Yeah.
our grits.
So grits. What else we're having?
Eggs.
Eggs.
If they're not sold out. I put all the eggs in the cooler this morning. So and remember that blueberry sausage I was telling you still in the refrigerator?
I'm ready for that blueberry sausage.
It's going to be interesting to see how it is.
Yes.
It may not be of interest to us after we try it, but it may be the best thing we
Right.
ever had. So I'm going to do that. And then probably some biscuits. Because you know what?
We got blackberry jelly.
Blackberry jelly.
And honeysuckle jelly.
So that makes everybody happy. Now, Mary Carl, what's the taster of the blackberry jelly?
I taste it too.
Well, the morning after I made it, though,
right. Okay.
She wanted toast so she could try the blackberry jelly, and she did. I had one jar that didn't seal.
Yes.
It didn't go.
Right.
And so we put it in the refrigerator and started using it, and it was a very good, easy recipe.
It was. And it's good. I saw some people say in the comments that they didn't see me taste it. And
I thought about that afterwards. I was like, but I didn't want to crack a jar open, you know?
And plus, it was pretty warm.
Oh, it was hot when it came out. But yeah, it's good. It's good. We all got a taste of it. And we can have either blackberry or honeysuckle jelly, or what Stone Hollow Farmstead sent us.
Oh, that's right. We got that too.
Yep. So good dinner for us, even though not a lot of planning is involved.
I love breakfast for supper.
Well, I've been planning it for a long time. It's just had to happen on a day when I didn't have anything else ready. Didn't have anything else ready.
Oh, I see. SKS Hugo. I'm not going to say the word. It's a family show, but on a shingle. That's what they're having.
So if you don't know what that is,
it's good too. Is that surely that's not just a Southern dish? That's got to be.
Gosh, what did my friend Melissa?
Mm-hmm.
Her parents used to make it, and they called it something totally different.
Really?
I think they just called it SOS.
Is that what they call it?
SOS, but they didn't say it because it's not a good word.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tuna fish in a white sauce.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm, everybody doesn't make it the same.
Yeah, it's probably one of those things that's made different.
With some eggs, and my mom always put English peas in it.
Yep.
And served over toast. Gosh, that makes me want it. Does it you?
It's good.
Breakfast might be put on the back burner.
It's good. And I'm not a big tuna fish fan. Well, I say that. I like those tuna tacos that I get from.
But that's different than canned tuna.
Yeah. But I'm not a big canned tuna fan. But it's really good.
Some people are saying it's
SOS.
It's creamed chipped beef. And not tuna.
I love cream chipped beef. So maybe that's what I'm saying. It's
different depending on where you are.
Different depending on where you are. Yeah, we've always had it with tuna.
So when I was growing up, I've told y'all this before. My daddy worked all the time at the funeral home, and every fifth night he had to spend the night at the funeral home all night. Somebody had to be there. So he came home at 4:00 on those days and had to be back at work at 6:00. Got a 2-hour break. That meant my mama got off at 5:00 and she had to have dinner ready, supper ready, and eaten by the time he had to go back to work at 6:00. SOS was a staple for that because it could be done really quick.
Oh, I'm seeing all kind of varieties of it.
That'll be interesting.
Somebody said they did it on biscuits.
On biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gracious! I haven't had that in so long.
There's a lot of. It looks like chipped beef is the most popular one,
yes,
but
I've
we've always had
it
with tuna. There's somebody else said they had it with tuna and English peas.
Tuna, English peas, boiled eggs, and a white sauce.
I think that's something.
On toast is what we always had it on.
Mm-hmm. Always on toast.
Your mama made it too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Did you eat it then?
I think so.
You didn't put it under the table?
No, I didn't put it on the table.
Well,
I've done that when I was a
know.
kid.
You've told me that before. But I like English peas. I know you don't like canned English peas.
Listen, this is what's crazy about this meal. I don't like canned English peas, and I don't like canned tuna, but I like SOS.
I like it too. I'm not going to say that because I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
I want to say that was invented something about the military.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying army.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that was the thing that I didn't know for sure, but I thought that that's when it came about. Some kind of quick meal. I'm gonna stop.
Wow, there's so many people. It is so many varieties. They said they didn't put eggs in it.
Huh? Your mama put eggs in yours?
I just the last time I had it was with with your family making it,
Right.
and that's how I remember it. So that's how I remember it.
Huh.
My mom used to make something called Super Burger, and it was on white bread, and it was kind of like a goulash, but I can't remember what it was as a whole. I have to ask her about that because I liked it too.
Isn't
and
that
it kind of
something?
reminded me.
How things that used to be a weekly staple in your family just kind of disappears.
It does.
I mean,
I want to say the Super Burger, of course, had hamburger meat, ground hamburger meat in it, but for some reason, and y'all, I was probably 8, 9 years old, trying to think, but it's like it had the ABC, I'm talking about chicken noodle soup had the ABCs in it. For some reason, I think
it sounds like a can of SpaghettiOs.
No, it wasn't SpaghettiOs. It wasn't SpaghettiOs. I just can't remember. I have to ask Mom about that.
I don't know. I don't know where you would get the ABCs from.
I don't know either.
Or maybe they made noodles back then that were ABC.
I just can't remember.
Anyway, well, I'm going to air fry the sausage.
Okay.
So it should be a little bit better for us.
A little bit better.
Anyway.
I said alphabet soup. That's what I'm thinking. It was alphabet soup with ground hamburger meat for some reason. And it was something she made, and it was real easy because she would make it
like one of those meals that you had to have.
And she called it Super Burger. I don't know why I don't know if that's the name she made up, or I don't know. I don't know where she learned to cook that at.
Well, our dogs have made it through the entire life without a peep.
Yep.
Until now.
That's right.
So that means that it is just about that time.
It is.
Just about that time.
Well, guys.
Dee Dee's growling under her breath.
Yeah. We hope y'all have a wonderful Tuesday evening.
We plan to be back here Saturday morning with coffee in tow.
Yep.
Jason will have a video tomorrow. I'll have one Thursday. And
I will say this. Tomorrow's video, y'all have to watch it.
You have to watch it.
Have to watch it. Y'all be good. I'm not going to, no spoilers. No spoilers.
That's right.